Alright, so this is a really interesting strategy that I was trying out recently, and it's pretty fun to do and pretty effective on most maps. So in order to start, we don't really have any good footing with the snipers in the early game, so we're just going to do sub or ninja alchemist start. Even though that this map is really bad for the sub start, I'm still doing it because it still is better than the ninja alchemist start. But we're just going to be getting that working up, and we're going to be going straight into it. So for the hero, you can either use Etienne or Sai. If possible, definitely use Sai, because Sai is a lot better with the cleanup. He can take out the whole Moabs really easily, so you definitely want to do that instead. Etienne is more against the ceramics, and I do have big counters for ceramics because I will be using in icicles or cryo cannon, I forget which one, at the end, which helps clean up ceramics for the bouncing bullet and the downdraft to take out. So you don't want to use Etienne with this one, you want to use Sai, but if you can't, Etienne is still a great option, and it does end up working here, although around 98 is a tad close. So definitely recommend using Sai over Etienne, but Etienne will still work. Now that we're past the early game, standard sub alchemist or ninja alchemist, as always, we're going to start going for our snipers. So I will start with a 302 sniper, and this will help out take the ceramics in the mid game and the mobs as well. Mobs will be pretty tricky for the first few rounds, but that's fine because we're going to get the elite sniper pretty soon. So under 2 discounts, we'll get the deadly precision that takes out mobs and ceramics easily. And now on about around 48, we're going to start working on the elite sniper. 250 set on first, deadly precision set on strong, and if you start working at it on around 48, you can get the elite sniper by around 60, which will make things going pretty good. So 2 discounts, you save a lot of money, and we're going to get a lot of snipers in this big cluster right there. If you're doing it on another map, you can really choose anywhere as long as you have good line of sight with the snipers. And now we're going to be getting an alchemist with this bundle as well. This is going to be a 4-1 alchemist because we're going to be wanting to buff all the bouncing bullets, and that was good. Also note that when you get your elite sniper, he's going to be set on elite. That is no bueno, and get him right off because elite targeting is garbage and does absolutely nothing besides prioritizing ceramics over mobs for absolutely no reason. So basically we're going to be going on, and now we're going to be starting the spam part of this. But wait, before that, we're going to be getting downdraft. If you want to do manual micro, it's a lot safer and a lot better, but a lot of people just don't like it, so you can get pursuit if you want. But if you're not doing pursuit, always go 032. It has a lot more blowback. So now after getting that, we're going into the spam for the snipers. Basically, under the discounts and under the brew, we're going to be wanting to get several 230s, and you also want to buff them with the Alchemist. The placements here on this map are pretty tricky, and if you're doing a lot easier map, you probably won't come into this. And I try to get an Alchemist down there, as you can see, but it just won't fit. Nothing else will fit. So normally I would get an Alchemist down there to buff that group, but I end up getting it up there. So at the end you might want 5 or 6 bouncing bullets, and then 3 main mobs. I do one at 402, just because that's what we had for mid-game, but the other 2 I usually like to have as 420 on strong, and you can also place one of the 2 420s on first in the middle of some of the rounds, because some of the balloons will get a little close. And with that, at about round 90, you will cap off your sniper spam and start to get some support. So for the support, I recommend a lot of cleanup. And basically what that means is that there's going to be a lot of extra balloons that come out from the snipers and from the main mobs stunning. So we're going to want stuff like the icicles that we have at the back to stop the mobs, a sabo to slow everything down, and for this map specifically, I'm going to be getting 042 spec factories. Whoa, car honked. Anyways, that scared me, but basically we're getting 042 spike factories because on this map specifically it will put it in the right spot instead of putting it all over. So as you can see on round 98, it got a little bit close with Etienne, but we ended up cleaning up, and on round 99 it continues. That round's easy, and on round 100 we want to use the 042 spike factories ASAP to get the buff, and that will be easy, and that is Chimps with a sniper spam.